So like I said, my parents started Aura as a hobby in 2010 or 2011. And a lot of people don't know this, but one of our first products was Repello, which is our natural mosquito repellent. It's 100% natural. And my dad basically developed the recipe because I got dengue fever. You know, जो पहला साल आया था where everyone had dengue. So I was one of those people. And again, being very health oriented, my parents were like, nahi, you know, we don't want her using like Mospel and all these commercial mosquito repellents people usually use. Because the doctor told me, you know, every season dengue comes and I'm gonna have to wear it. So they developed the mosquito repellent. They're like, this is pretty cool, let's try our hand at soaps. They started that, and the journey has been pretty awesome since. That's a great question. Kind of sad too that you have to ask something like that in this day and age. But I think it's very important to talk about why this exists, this obsession with fair skin. And like you said, colonialism, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the subcontinent especially was ruled by the British, and that meant because the British had, or the Goras had Gora skin, it meant you were of a higher status and stuff like that. And I think a lot of it also has to or had to do with the Hindu caste system, where you had the untouchables, which were usually minorities or darker skinned people, and the Brahmins on the top, which were usually of a lighter skin tone, which also meant that the more time you're spending outside doing physical labor, you're from the lower class, and if you are whiter, staying indoors, naturally your skin tone's gonna be lighter than other people. So that is something which has, I feel it has turned into a very silly cultural habit as opposed, or a mindset that somehow we aren't being able to break. But I think we're getting there. Like you said, a lot of Bollywood stars as well have started talking against these things. You had Nandita Das, who came up with Dark is Beautiful, and those kind of campaigns, or Unfair and Lovely. And I think it's fantastic that people are using their voice, and that's exactly what Aura is trying to do. Just from day one, we decided, me, my parents, that we won't be selling or promoting fairness products. And it's just the ethical, it's the right thing to do. We could make a lot of money off of it, certainly, because it would, hands down, I do believe for sure, if Aura were to come up with, let's say, a whitening cream, it would be our bestseller. But the truth is, A, it's usually bleach and it doesn't change your skin tone. And B, why would you want to change your skin tone? I think it's about time we start celebrating our differences. You know, Allah ka shukr hai, for my skin tone, thankfully no. I was raised in a way where my parents never made me feel like, and you know, especially because I come from a khandan, it's a Pathan khandan. I'm not fully Pathan, but still most of my cousins, everyone is definitely on the fairer side, whereas I'm tan. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because a lot of people, they're like, you know, Aura doesn't sell whitening products and this and that, and why are you so personal about it? Personal kyun ho jati ho? And I'm like, well, hello, I'm a tan skinned girl, and you know, I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line it did affect me, maybe not at home, but you know, maybe you hear people talking about कि इस लड़की का रिश्ता नहीं आएगा, ये तो बहुत काली है, या बहुत मोटी है, या बहुत छोटी है, because I'm kali and choti, you know. So I think that would hit a nerve somewhere. And that's another thing I think which is so important. Like kala is it's just a color, it's just a definition, just like gora and like safed and this, and we, you know, people start associating gora with just being better or being ya saaf complexion ki hai, as if kala saaf nahi ho sakta, you know what I mean? And that just really pisses me off. And this is, I think, what I'm doing with Aura, because I have a platform now to speak about these things. I speak about it with a lot of fervor. I want to get through, maybe not to the older generation, but the youth. I have so many teenagers, you know, inquiring about whitening products, and it makes me sad, you know, it's silly. So what I think people on our side of the world, or specifically in Pakistan, can do is to, like you said, just honor themselves and celebrate who they are and celebrate others as well. It's not just about who you are at the end of the day, right? So when I'm talking about not promoting whitening products, I don't mean to demean anyone who has fair skin. It's all about being inclusive and just celebrating, as we say it when I put up any Aura post about these things. We say we want to celebrate all shades of beauty. And when I mean all shades of beauty, I also mean people who are overweight or underweight and, you know, tall, short, whatever it is. Beauty is what you make it to be. And yeah, I don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I think it's a very complicated time for the youth all over the world when you have things like Instagram, where people are posting pictures of a life and a version of themselves that, I mean, might be 5% real, or maybe even more, but it's definitely not relatable. But everyone wants to relate to that, so yeah, there are two completely different ends of the spectrum. You've got basically just reactions to one another, right? Which is what happens when you take something to one extreme and take something else to the other extreme. So for the youth, what I just want to say to them is to take it all in, sure, but don't get obsessed with a particular trend, which is essentially what all of this is. They're just trends. And to just do whatever feels right to you. And most importantly, take care of your health, because that's the biggest blessing you have. And if you're feeling healthy, you're going to feel beautiful.